Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Bhavika. At my channel, I talk about anything and everything, so thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about the new Netflix series, Fate the Winx Club Saga. I'm going to be giving my opinions on it as well as a review. I have many opinions, just a warning, as well as there's going to be spoilers. So if you're okay with that, then awesome. And while we're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified of all new videos when I get them posted. And leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like the video. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get started. Winx Club was a series that definitely had an impact on me growing up. It was one of those shows that even though they were fairies, and I'm not really a fairy person, you had a group of friends who were first females that were girl power, who were badass, and who had the most amazing friendship ever. And I absolutely love that series. So when, the announcement came that Netflix was now creating a live action version, I was definitely excited. Mostly skeptical because, there's always that little fear that, it's going to get ruined. Something that you hold near and dear to your heart is going to get ruined. But I was just like, okay, maybe. And then, the stuff started coming out and it just made me think that it possibly wasn't going to be good, with things that were coming out, like details about the show before. But I decided to still give it a try and watch it despite that, because I wanted to see if it would be any good at all and if I would actually enjoy it. So that is why I decided to watch it, and I have very many opinions as well as thoughts on this new live action version of the Winx Club. So the first thing is Flora, who's now replaced by Tara, which absolutely makes no sense to me, which we'll go into that later, but I want to discuss this first. So if you look at all 6 girls, you have Bloom, Stella, Tecna, who are all white, that you can tell that they are all white, and then you have the 3 characters of color, who are Flora, Musa, and Aisha. So, to go ahead and just take someone who is supposed to be of color out and replace them by someone who is white, and even though you're changing their name, it's definitely off-putting. Why? There's no reason to do that. Just saying, because the impression that it gives off is, hey, we're going to change this person's name and then put someone else because she's technically not supposed to be this person, so this is our little loophole. And I get that, the ethnicity is never stated in the cartoon. But again, comparatively to all the other characters, she is a person of color. So, I don't think that should have happened. That definitely, again, like I said, was off-putting. I did not like that at all. So, in my book, the series was already starting off on a bad note for that decision there. Also, I understand that, hey, they're putting someone who is, they decided to put a plus-size girl in that as one of the characters to make a statement. Great, that's awesome. That still could have been done with a person of color. It's not that hard. One does not equal the other. Replacing an ethnicity by a plus-size girl, it just does not equal. You can have both. They just choose not to have both, which I don't understand. So, in conclusion of that rant, I did not like it. I thought it was stupid, and it shouldn't have been done. It should have just been casted correctly. Okay, so we're done on that point. Secondly, I just make up words here. I don't know why they replaced, Flora with Tara. If you're keeping the name of all the other girls and all the other characters, essentially, what was the point of replacing Flora with Tara. I don't understand that. It is alluded to that Tara has a cousin named Flora, and she mentions that in the first episode, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's the first episode. So yeah, like technically she's not getting replaced, but she is getting replaced in the Winx Club itself. That was annoying. And the fact that Tekna's not even there. Like, you can't have the Winx Club without Tekna. Like, everyone just, like, forgets about Tekna and stuff like that, but, like, no, she's badass in herself, and she should have been part of the group. And I do know, you know, it's only 6 episodes that Netflix released. They could have other plans, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. You should have introduced Tekna at the beginning. That's just my opinion. I get very heated about this. We're just gonna put that little disclaimer there, too. I get heated about stuff. I was surprised that they didn't have all the specialists there. I get that it's a lot of characters to be introduced, but I was kind of hoping like that all the specialists were going to be there, even if it was just, you know, having Brandon, because Brandon's one of the originals. Brandon, Riven, Sky, and Timmy. Like, at least them, because like obviously Helia and like Naboo and all of them come in later, but they should have at least had Brandon. I missed Brandon there, as well as Timmy, because I mean they're the originals. So, and this is like a side note, it has nothing to do with the actor playing Riven, but like I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't bring in like the red hair, because like Riven's like whatever this is, like red hair thing. I was looking forward to that, and that was not brought in, but I wanted it. And I didn't realize how much I wanted it until I was watching the series, and I was like, damn, I want redhead Riven. But he was not there. Okay, so now that we got those out of the way, the character issues, I think not that I was disappointed or upset over this, it was just kind of like a change that I didn't realize I had to get used to, was the fact that everyone went to school with everyone. So like the specialists were a part of Althea. It wasn't that they were at Redwood there, but like they weren't at their own academy, and Althea wasn't the own academy. It was combined. And that did throw me off at first, but then realizing how the story was going and what the story was, it didn't really bother me as much. I think what threw me off about the whole series and kind of makes me not know how I feel about it, in the sense of like how I view it in the sense of the Winx world realm type deal, is the fact that the entire story has changed. Or not changed. The stories that we know, or that is a part of the Winx Club series, is not what is shown in the actual live action version. It's a whole new story, it's a whole new like idea, it's darker, it's more adultier, all of that, I get that. But when it comes to like comparing it or analyzing it to an original, there's not much connecting both stories. So the cartoon and the live action, there's not a lot connecting it other than the names, the land, and certain powers and stuff like that, which we'll get into the powers in a second. That was something I was really, like, when you're watching it, if you're watching it as a fan, I would say there's not a lot to compare it to. They share the same names, they share certain situations that are the same, but it's still not the same, if that makes any sense. Like, it's like the creators of the live action version were like, hey, this is the source material. Okay, read it. I'm gonna throw it away. I'm gonna use some of it, but not all of it. But like this much of it. So like, for example, the fact that Stella and Sky dated, that there's no Brandon, or the fact that Sky is not a prince, is not royalty, or the fact that there's no Kiko. Like, we need Kiko. Like those changes, those kinds of, you know, personal changes that are a part of the original there. So there's a lot of differences. There's no tricks there. Like, you need Stormy, Icy, Darcy. Like, you need all of them. But it's not that story. It's something that's completely different, something that's not even the realm of the Winx Club series. And as I was watching it, I did watch it twice. I watched the entire series twice just so I can make sure that I had all the details and everything. And as I was watching it for the second time, I realized that I did enjoy the show in general. The show in general is actually a really good show. It has a great pace to it, and if it didn't have the Winx Club name to it at all, then I would actually be something that I would watch myself. But the fact that it's calling itself Winx and it's not really like anything like the Winx Club, it's practically its own separated thing, just with the same names and just little elements that are similar. That's what brings it down. It's like they're calling something that is something Winx when it's not really truly Winx. I hope that made sense. So yeah. And I don't know why it bothers me. I don't think it should bother me as much as it does, but the fact that they changed Muse's powers to her being an empath rather than having her powers of music and melody and sound and all of that, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me because it's taking something away from the original. There's nothing wrong with the fact that she's an empath. It definitely adds a different element, but again, it's not like the original. I feel like the show is inspired by the Winx Club, but it's absolutely nothing concretely similar to the actual show. I will say one of the things that I liked about the show that actually kept my interest was the whole story with the burned ones and Bloom's memory and the whole Rosalind thing. Like, that whole aspect of the show, that was a different storyline, and it was an interesting one as well. So that definitely kept my attention, and I think it was a good storyline. Like, I think that it can be expanded on, and I wonder what they're going to do with it in the next season or the next episodes or however they're structuring this whole thing. So I did like that. I did like the story. I think in general the show is a good show. I would recommend watching it, but if you are a Winx fan, I would say don't view it as a Winx story. At least not yet. Maybe in the future, if they continue the show, maybe then, but like as of right now, I wouldn't consider it like a Winx Club show. So yeah. So I definitely would recommend watching it just for entertainment purposes and something to binge watch, something easy. It's an easy show. It's not high anxiety all the time. It isn't like angst 24/7. There are some slow parts, but you know, shows do that. Some episodes have that, but all in all, the story, does keep going. It is fairly paced and quite enjoyable to watch. So yeah, those are basically my thoughts and opinions on the whole Faith the Winx Saga series that's on Netflix there. I'm intrigued to see where it's gonna go going forward. Like I said, I will definitely watch it, so I would recommend it. It's a good watch. Just don't think of it as Winx as of right now. That's all I'm gonna say. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've watched the series, if you're going to, what you thought. I would love to know your opinions on it as well. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of all new videos that I get posted. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you at the next video. Bye!